I'm sure you know by now that creating content to be seen and heard by your potential clients and customers is so important for your business. And sure, showing up on social media, sharing your work online, all of those things are so incredibly important. But today I'm going to show you why creating deep and meaningful pillar content is just going to take that to the next level. Hi, I'm Catherine and I support quiet, sensitive souls to create introvert-friendly, sustainable businesses and success on their terms. And if you're more introverted, creating pillar content has loads of benefits to get your work in front of the right people and invite them to take the next step with you without feeling super salesy. First of all, let me be clear what I mean when I talk about pillar content. I personally consider this longer form content that's foundational to your business message and what it is that you offer or sell. This can look like so many things across multiple platforms, like writing blog posts or articles, creating a podcast, YouTube content or videos. It can be live streams. It can even be workshops, online events, or in-person events as well. I kind of think that if it can be cut down into smaller bite-sized pieces and shared on social media, then it counts as pillar content. So you're busy, right? You're probably juggling a million things, not just in your own business, but maybe in a job, in other areas of your life, the roles and responsibilities that you have in just being a person in the world. And you might be asking yourself, do you really have time to add something else to your already huge to-do list? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about why pillar content is so helpful in your business. And especially if you do have limited time, maybe you have to manage your energy because you are prone to burnout or you have so many other things going on. If you're an introvert, you need that downtime to yourself. And so I don't want to add anything more to your already busy to-do list. I'm going to show you some ideas or some thoughts about why pillar content is going to make your life just so much easier. First up, pillar content has a much longer lifespan than your average social media post. So if you're creating content for Instagram or any other social media right now, you'll know that once a post has been up for maybe 24 to 48 hours, that it's very rarely going to be seen again by a lot of people. Pillar content, no matter what platform or format you're doing it for, is searchable on Google, on Pinterest, on YouTube. Even now that social media has algorithms that mean that we're not necessarily seeing posts chronologically, they still have a very limited lifespan. Whereas someone might stumble on an old podcast episode, a blog post, or a video years and years later because they searched for it or it was linked to in other content somewhere else. This is a great way to keep getting in front of new people with content that you created maybe years ago. So instead of having to create 50 posts a day for social media in hopes that somebody sees it, you can have people constantly finding your work over years through search content, through places like Pinterest, even through your own new content that's leading back to older content. And to give you an example of this, someone booked a call with me last year who found a post that I had written 6 years ago on my website by just doing a Google search for something else, and she stumbled upon me and my work. Side note, if you're watching this from anywhere later than February 2022, please leave a comment below and let me know. And if you know me at all, you know that I'm the biggest fan of repurposing and making the most of your content. Once you have bigger, deeper content, you can repurpose, reuse it, and share it over and over again. This also means that you can be in more places. You can potentially get in front of new people without having to do a ton of extra work. This has helped me and my clients so much because it means instead of creating 10 different pieces of content, trying to work out where to put it, what's going to be relevant on Twitter, what's going to be relevant on Instagram, if you should be posting in Facebook groups, what you're doing is you're creating one bigger piece of content that can be then shared and repurposed across platforms and be relevant for the context of that platform. Plus it means when someone is on your Instagram and then goes to your website, or they're on your website and they go to a different profile on a different social media platform, that it all kind of makes sense because it's all part of one bigger message. Once I started repurposing my content this way, it just became so much easier because I personally am not a super consistent person. My energy goes in different ebbs and flows throughout the month, throughout the year. And so by having that kind of repurposing plan in front of me, it means that I've always got something to share or schedule in or reuse reuse, so that when I'm in that down time, when I'm in that place where I'm not super inspired, I don't want to create content, or busy in launch mode, working with clients, whatever that might be, it actually means that I've still got stuff to post on social media for months and months at a time. If you're interested in learning more about how to do that in a really easy, streamlined way, you're going to want to check out my content ecosystem that I created. It is super affordable. It takes a couple of hours to have a look and start implementing, and it genuinely changes the way that people think about creating and repurposing their content. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link for that in the description down below. Believe it or not, this video itself is actually repurposed content from a huge post that I wrote a few weeks ago on my website. I will link that below as well, so you can go and check that out. And what it is actually just going into a bit of detail on one part of that bigger post. If you're interested in this, you'll want to keep checking in, because I have more videos coming that are going to go into deeper detail about the steps from that post. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any of those. The third and possibly most important reason for creating pillar content in your business is that it allows you to show that you know what you're talking about, and it does the heavy lifting for you and can bring clients and customers into your business without you actually having to feel like you're selling at all. Sure, you might find that people discover you on social media, they see a reel or a post on Instagram and they go, oh, I really like what this person's about, and they decide to follow you. But when you have pillar content that has more depth to it, it gives you the ability to go deeper with your message, with what it is that you teach or share. And instead of just doing a salesy post on Instagram that someone has to decide in that moment whether it's for them or not, it allows you to give really high value. You link to relevant content, so you're keeping them within your ecosystem and you're showing them that you have more to give. It also allows you to link to your offers and introduce those throughout the content without feeling like you're having to do a hard pitch at the end or send someone a cold DM and try and get them to buy something from you. But most importantly, it allows you to create value for people before they've potentially even bought anything from you. What I mean by this is that you can actually go deeper with people. You can share not just your own story, your experiences, but valuable steps, tips, resources that allow people to take action, to actually take what you're saying and do something with it, which might lead them down a path where they get an amazing result, a transformation, or even just start taking some mini steps. It allows you to build trust with people that you know what you're talking about, but also you're here to help them whether they buy from you or not. I love this about pillar content. It kind of does the heavy lifting for you so that you don't have to feel salesy, but you're basically just presenting a journey with a next step for people to take and allowing them to decide if that's the right next step for them or not. You're not trying to push them into something. You're actually just saying, hey, if you loved this, you're going to probably get a lot out of this as well. If you enjoyed this or found it helpful, maybe you want to talk about going deeper by joining my program or working with me one-on-one. See how that is so much easier than just presenting an offer to people all the time. You've given value first. You've showed them that you know what you're talking about and that you're here to really help them, and then inviting them to take the next step if it feels right for them. It's not about being pushy or salesy, and especially if that makes you uncomfortable, which I know a lot of people in my audience feel, so that might be you as well. It's actually allowing people to choose their own adventure. You're saying, hey, here's some really great steps or tips to get you started. If you're interested, here are some options that are available for you next. And then allowing them to self-select what feels right for them. Maybe they want to go and check out another post or video from you. Maybe they're going to binge listen to your podcast. Maybe they're going to book in that discovery call, opt into your email list, download your freebie, or take the next step to joining your program. It's not up to us to decide what people do. All we do is show up, share amazing value, and then invite them to take the next step with us. So what do you think? Are you already a fan of creating pillar content? Are you starting to think about how you can actually make better use of the content you've already been creating? Or has this changed how you feel about creating long form content to share your work with the world? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're thinking that you don't quite know where to get started, make sure that you subscribe and check back, because that's what my next video is going to be about. In the meantime, you can head over and read the ultimate guide to creating content that cuts through the noise, which breaks down a lot of this into really simple bite-sized steps. And you might want to check out this video here about how to create content that cuts through the noise, and I will see you in the next one.